world without maths? I certainly can't, and I'm not the best mathematician in the world. All the sports we play today would be cancelled. Horse riding involves a lot of maths, and here is all the wonderful facts from the logical subject in this sport. Next up, some pretty prancing around and dance. Maths in hockey to finish this video off. So, let's get started. Horse riding is a very complex sport filled with technique, skill, and most importantly, math. Show jumping is one discipline which involves maths. As you can see here is a jump. More advanced riders will have a higher height of jump which involves maths. You have to measure the jumps for an accurate fair round. Another example of maths in horse riding is dressage. You have to be very accurate in creating circles of various sizes with your horse, from 10 meters to 20 meters, which involves maths measurements. Points can be deducted if not done so. Horse riding is a very competitive sport, especially in the show jumping, getting around the course and going as fast as you can, which involves time. Time is very important and can come down to the very millisecond. While staying in the competitive spectrum, places such as first, second and third are the aim for a rider. This involves consecutive numbers. Many rounds involving 10 to 30 riders, which means 10 to 30 places to be given a round. Scores are another thing. The higher the score, the better. Scores are judged on and can be one thing riders determine on whether they are finally placed. Scores can be as simple as whole numbers and can be as complex and close to the decimal. Horse riding is a fascinating sport on the outside, but behind all the showing and riding involves an abundant amount of maths. It's one of the many sports that need to involve all spectrums of maths, from time to measurements to whole numbers. Next we will move on to the fabulous sport of dance, which of course involves even more maths. After looking at horse riding and maths, we will now move on to dance. Dance is another good sport with lots of maths in it. Maths is often used to indicate what height you have your leg at. For example, here we have a 180-degree leg. Quite impressive if you ask me. Different shapes of spacing depends on the number of people. For example, in this photo you can see that 3 people make a triangle. There are also lots of decimal points used in dance, especially when cutting music. This happens when you have a song that is too long or too short and you have to add or subtract the little bits of the music to get the correct length. The next one is very simple. Who can count to 8? Certainly not me. When dancing, every move gets a count up to 8 and then you start over again. When you go to a dance competition, you get a score out of 100. Like for example, this score sheet that my friend Quacky got. This shows that the adjudicator has to change the numbers to get you a percentage as well as a number out of 100. The final way maths is used in dance is when you make all the fabulous costumes dancers wear. When making a costume, the first thing you have to do is take the measurements of the dancers. You also need to know how many costumes you need so that you can find the correct amount of fabric. Now we will go on to hockey and the maths. So after all that about dance, we must move on to hockey. Here is a hockey stick. To find the right size, you have to measure the height of your waist and then round it to the nearest size. This hockey stick, for example, is a 36.5. When scoring a goal, the estimated angle has to be calculated to score a point. The score of the game also relies on the trustworthy addition of the umpire. If they're not a very good mathematician, you have a slight problem. When a free hit is taken, the ball must be placed on a specific line. This has to be measured exactly to the precise number. The amount of players on the field is necessary. In addition to this, the position of the players would have to make a certain shape, for example, a dice format. When making a hockey ball, the measurements must be precise. Circumference of 23 centimeters, 23.1 to be precise. All hockey balls must be the same or else you have a slight problem. That's all the sports for today. Thank you.